Mediterranean, and it will stay pretty wet across
Morning.
and parts of the Balkans.
How you doing? Back to Silver Gardens Brewery. Let's turn the old telly down a bit. We can't have that on, have we? No. Turn the telly down. Yep. Right, today we're going to be brewing, hopefully, a Ukraine Hero, which is one of Colin's favourites. In the past I have gone a little bit overboard with the honey, but this time it's going to be about right, so just follow along and we will get to it as soon as we can. As you can see, you follow me over here, we have the boiler, which I filled up with water. I've gone over the top with the amount, because I think it needs a bit of boil off, you know, you lose a bit in the boil off. So what we're doing now is we turn it down a little bit, down to 5, turn it on. Right, that's the water heating up. That will be taken up to about 70 degrees, where then it will go into the mash, which I'm going to sort out in a minute. We'll do the hops first, weigh out the hops, and we'll go from there. You see me in a minute. Right, I'll just give you a seat for a minute. Right, I'll give you a brief history of, let's zoom in a little bit. Just my head poking up. Right. Brief history of this brew. Ukraine Hero was actually devised by me. It was a week into the Russia-Ukraine war, and I wanted to sort of honour them a little bit by making a brew. Obviously a few years on now, 6 years on. No, not 6 years, is it? 20, yeah. Well, a few years on, put it that way. It's become quite a firm favourite. A lot of people like it. It is a bit honeyish in flavour, but it's not overpowering. It's around about 6.5–7%. All depends how strong I want to brew it. This time it's going to be around about 6.5. And it will be going on to the pumps. It won't be coming out of the barrels like I've got there with the Nordic Nights in. And I've got the over there I've got the Summer Lightning in the fridge, which is around about 5.5, which is a very light beer, well carbonated, nice hoppy flavour. So yeah, that's the general background of it. The water heater's on. Got about another 15–20 degrees to go before we get to 70. The reason I go to 70 is because the water transfer into the mash tun, and then the cold grains going in actually knock it down about 4 or 5 degrees anyway, so it gets it to around about 60, 65, 66 degrees, which is the optimal amount of heat to convert the starches into sugars, which then come out and then get boiled on later, which we'll see later on. But yeah, it's quite a nice process. It's not a bad little hobby. I can make 5 gallons of beer, which will go into the corny kegs, and then they'll be pressurised and they'll come out of the taps or the hand pumps as and when I want them. So yeah, right, we'll come back when the water temperature's got up and we start doing the mash. Okay, see you in a minute. Right, I think the water's up the temperature now. We'll have a quick check just to make sure. It's going up. About 70 degrees, see, so turn off the boiler. Needs soaking in. That's now running. Let's run it into the mash tun. Do this, I'll get my paddle. Got my mash paddle. Got my jug. And off we go. So yeah, it's up the temperature, the water's going into the mash tun. As soon as that's gone in, we can start mashing. That's going. Right, now we can start with the mash. What you do is you get the jug full, you just pour it in slowly, mix it up, make sure that there's no clumps. All the additives that will be going in, like the honey and the extra sugar, will be going in once it's in the fermenter. I don't like putting sugar in the boiler because it does make a bit of a mess on the bottom of the boiler when it burns a little bit. And the honey I'll mix with the sugar from boiling water and just add that to the mash once it goes into the fermenter, and then I'll leave that to cool down. And then the yeast will be added, and hopefully away it goes. Yeah, I'll show you the yeast in a minute that I use. A lot of people use these cavites now that come from abroad. They're very strong yeast, but I have found that some of them take a long time to get going, but when they do go, they do go quite fast. But I've actually found one that works as well as Kavit, that starts in probably half an hour of actually putting the yeast into the must, or the wort, or yeah, the must, whatever you call it. So yeah, I've got there's Nietzsche onto that yeast as well. He was quite happy with it, but he still likes the Kavit. So yeah, I'm getting in. I'll show you this in a minute when I've got this all done. Have a nice day. It's the 5th of October. And it's 11:45 in the morning and I'm brewing. Hey! Obviously I'll be off to see Madam tomorrow afternoon. See how she's getting on. Hope you all got the night. I'll have to come back to this later. Once this is all mashed, I'll bring you back to transferring it back into the boiler and then the boiling a bit for an hour. Adding the hops and all the other bits will be probably done in the morning, which will still be on this video. We'll come back to this over a couple of days, and you'll see the full process. and then once it's finished fermenting, I'll bring you back and we'll do the transfers into the kegs and the first toastings. Normally it's about 4 or 5 days before it's finished fermenting. Then we've got to leave it a few days to clear out, get a bit clearer. So oh, I wish you had smell of it, because this is unbelievable. Lovely smell. Even better when it's boiling, it smells lovely. All the grains going in. All the berry sauce in the crystal 400. There's not a lot of crystal in this because I don't want it to be dark. Although it'll come out like a nice light bitter more than anything. Right, let's see. Grains gone. And I'll just let that fill up and we'll come back when it's time to mash. The mash is all ready to go. It's up the temperature, so we'll put the lid on. And we'll cover it up. Too much in there. Bit much. Take a bit out. Dripping away there. Right now, set the timer and we wait now for 30 minutes and then after 30 minutes we'll take the top. Yeah, after 30 minutes what we do is we lift the lid off and we give it a good stir and then it will go on for another 30 minutes. Then it's a transfer time into the boiler and start the boil. So I'll come back at the end of mashing, which is about an hour, so I'll see you in an hour. Right, now that the mash is all done, so all we've got to do now, take the lid off, turn the tap, and out it comes. Slowly turn. Take you off and let you see it. There's the mash. It's the monster mash. And that's the colour of the Ukraine hero. So once that gets up to a decent size, I'll put it from there, and then that will go into the boiler, and then it will be time to boil it up. So come back and we'll show you the boil. But at the moment it's just a matter of transferring all that down there into the boiler, and then we can set the boiler going. Okay. Yeah, we transfer that from the mash tun. Now there's a filter in the mash tun at the bottom, and then that's tipped into the boiler. We get up to a certain amount in the boiler, that gives us 5 gallons, although there is a little bit of boil off that evaporates, but we normally end up with about 5 gallons. So yep, just wait until that empties out now. I'll put the boiler on. I've already put 1 bucket in, so yeah, we'll be coming back when it's on starting to boil. I think we're at the boil now. So what we got to do is walk over here. Right, now this is a hop spider, and what we do with that is that goes in with the 2 hooks, and then we can put our hops in. So you can see that. That goes in there. And we get our first set of hops, and then they go into the hop spider, and we give a bit of a stir around like that. And then that goes for 1 hour. So we'll be back in an hour. See you in a little while. So, right, that's the timer set for an hour. As you can see, and that's the boil going on. So yep, hop spider's in there, and the hops are in there. Another 30 minutes and I'll put the next lot of hops in, and then that will go for an hour. So we'll come back in an hour. You don't want to see me put more hops in. Alright, so we're coming up to the end now. We've got 15 minutes left to go. I've just put the World Block tablet in, which is like a carrageenan seaweed. It's organic. What it does, it just binds all the little bits together so that doesn't end up in the fermenter. So yep, it's all going well. I'll see you when it's time to put it into the fermenter, which will probably be in the morning. This will go now for another 15 minutes, and then it will be turned off, left to cool down, and all the rubbish and bits to float to the bottom. And then in the morning we'll be transferring it into the fermenter. So I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, there we go. We're back again. We're doing the transfer now from the kettle, or the boiler, which is coming down into the fermenter, and once that's full, I will do the additives like the sugar and the honey, and then that'll be given a nice dose of yeast, which then should set it off fermenting. Okay, catch you back in a minute. Right, there you go. It's all in the fermenter. I've got the heat pad on as well, which is wrapped around it. I've got the blow off tube, and I'll let that just come up to temperature now. And this is the yeast I'm using, which is, when it focuses, no, It's Sapale T58. So yeah, it's fine. I'll put that in another 15-20 minutes, and the old screw top there, that'll get tightened up so we get nothing come out. It'll come out through the blow off tube all the way down, and it should ferment out quite nicely. Okay, I'll bring you back. Just turn you around. There you go. I'll bring you back when it's started fermenting. I'll let you see it bubbling away. And that is a Ukraine hero, the first one of, yeah, he's the first one of 2025. Okay, cheers, bye. Hello, I'm back again. It's only been 5 minutes and we got action. The yeast has started to go. I'm quite surprised actually, it's that quick. I did let the heat blanket, can't get my head straight here, I've got a head wall. Get the blanket, the heat blanket up to temperature, and of course when I put the sugar in and the honey, they were quite warm as well. So yeah, it's getting there. I'll show you. I'll just spin you around.
And just on this, because clearly on the front line, the psychological impact is really there. How do you all cope?
So hopefully you'll see the bubble come up in a minute.
Soldiers, the people
there you go, it's just gone one.
How do you support one another through a lot of this difficulty?
I should go again in a minute.
Of course, I have seen many videos of Jack
doing
news reports and things of that nature. The level of technology that you're all using now is so sophisticated, and clearly this has to help in terms of being on the front line in the battle that you're facing.
I think it's camera shy.
Yes, totally.
Nothing it wants to go.
We started to use lots of drones.
Anyway, I can assure you, there we go, yeah, he's done it in the end. So, just spin you around again. So yeah, we're in Blokey's Bar. That is the Ukraine hero, which is off and running, so I think Colin will be happy with that. So yeah, that's the end of this video. So keep your pecker up, and I'll see you next time. Don't forget to look out for sgb1. That's the video. Bye.